What up, nerds? This is Clay Cooper from Prep Expert. I've got 2 perfect scores on the SAT and 1 perfect score on the ACT. And today I'm going to show you how to attack a move the sentence question in the writing section. All right, a move the sentence question is a question like this one that asks us where in the paragraph we should place a particular sentence. If you notice, the beginning of each sentence in this paragraph has a little number in front of it. I can always tell when they're going to ask me a move the sentence question because all of the sentences in the paragraph will have this little number in front of it. In fact, when I see those little numbers, I know to pay special attention to the ordering of the sentences in the paragraph. I know I should be following along closely to make sure everything appears to be in the right place. So here's what I recommend that my students do on a move the sentence question. We use a 2-step process. The first step of that process is to read the paragraph very carefully for understanding. And now that's actually really important. A lot of students neglect to read the paragraphs in the writing section closely. But as I tell my students, you've got to read everything. About half of the writing section tests your understanding of the ideas the author is trying to express. In other words, the test is trying to find out not just do you understand grammar, but can you understand the ideas being expressed and can you help the author express them more clearly? Because the test, the writing section in particular, has such a strong focus on clarity and the organization of ideas, you got to read the whole section. You've got to read each paragraph very carefully, especially paragraphs with the move the sentence question. So that's the first step. Read the paragraph very carefully. And then the second step is going to be, as we read, look for, first of all, breaks in the flow of ideas, and second of all, context clues. If you can find a break in the flow of ideas or a context clue, it should be easy to spot where the sentence goes or whether it's in the right place to begin with. Let me explain what each of these means. A break in the flow of ideas is anything that seems out of place to you. If you're reading the paragraph closely for understanding and something doesn't make sense, it's probably not your fault. It's probably the paragraph's fault, right? You probably are doing a good job of paying attention to the ideas being expressed. It's just that the paragraph's not written well the way that it's written. In other words, if something seems out of place to you, pick up on that. If it doesn't make sense to you, pick up on that. That's probably a break in the flow of ideas you can use to answer the question. Second of all, we're going to look for context clues. Now, hopefully we'll see an example of this, but a context clue is any concrete indicator that something doesn't belong in a certain place or does belong in a certain place. And I'll show you a little bit more about what I mean in just a moment. But I'm looking for specific words or phrases or specific references that don't make sense when the paragraph's written like it is, or that can only make sense with the paragraph written like it is. Either one of those will answer the question for you if you can spot it. So let's take a look at this paragraph. Scientists with the United States Geological Survey suggest that human-induced global climate change will affect biodiversity around the world. Computer-based modeling, which compiles vast data sets to predict trends, is the most efficient way to meet this need. But the reality is that we have not previously had any concrete idea of how severe and long-lasting the impact could be, ecologist Brian Innsbruck says. This lack of certainty is what makes climate prediction models so useful. In order to manage global climate change and minimize its impact, scientists and authorities need to be able to foresee its effects in a variety of ecosystems. So, this is a great example of the procedure. We've just done step 1, which is read the paragraph carefully for understanding. I feel like I've got a good idea of what's going on in the paragraph. Now, let's do step 2, which is to look for breaks in the flow of ideas and context clues. Ask yourself, do you see any breaks in the flow of ideas? Is there anything in this paragraph that doesn't make sense to you the way it's currently written? I see something, but more importantly, I see a concrete context clue that tells me that sentence 2 can't go where it is now. Here it is. Computer-based modeling, which compiles vast data sets to predict trends, is the most efficient way to meet this need. But the phrase "this need" can only make sense if it follows the mention of a need. Have we had a need mentioned in the first sentence? We haven't. All it says is that scientists suggest human-induced climate change will affect biodiversity. There's no need mentioned there, so I don't think this sentence can go where it is now. Where should it go instead? Well, if you look down in sentence 5 mentions a need. In order to manage global climate change and minimize its impact, scientists and authorities need to be able to foresee its effects in a variety of ecosystems. Could that line up with the need that's mentioned in sentence 2? I think it could. What we're saying is modeling is the most efficient way to meet the need of predicting trends, which is exactly the need mentioned in sentence 5. As a result, it's clear that sentence 2 needs to go after sentence 5, and that's why D is our answer. So that's all I've got for you today. Please don't forget to throw us a like if you found this video helpful. You can also subscribe to Prep Experts YouTube channel for other videos just like this one. In fact, we'd love it if you'd leave us a comment below this video. Let us know what you want advice on from a 2-time perfect score in our next video. We might feature your suggestion as the topic for our next video. You can also find a coupon code in the description below this video that you can use on our website, prepexpert.com, for discounts on all of our products. You can sign up for a course with myself or another instructor, or sign up for tutoring if you'd prefer that. So until next time, keep working hard.